Hi, YouTube. This was a spoiler alert. Oops. I am back to do the Racing to Read book tag, which is one of the, I believe, vlogging challenges for the Reading Rush. Today is a big hair day from me, as you'll probably notice if you go and watch the vlog that I'll be posting on Thursday. I'm going to try and post this one before Thursday. Yeah, today's a big hair day. Anywho, the first question tag challenge. Anyways, the first prompt or first question of this tag is warm up. A book that stretches your mind. For me, I'm gonna say Neil deGrasse Tyson's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. In addition to it being a big hair day, it's a my brain is slow day, so there's that. But I learned a lot from this book. I do enjoy reading science. I almost call it science fiction. Goodness. I really enjoy reading astrophysics books, and this one is a really good starting place, I can say, if you are interested to learn more about it and to read more about it, because it really is designed for people who are in a hurry. So and also look at this beautiful cover, and it's also soft, and yeah. The actual book itself is just like a blue book. Anyways, but I have a food stain on, so I leave the dust covering on. Anyways, yeah, this is a really good book, and it's a really good place to start if you're wanting to expand your mind. And what better way to expand your mind than by learning about the expansiveness of the universe? The next question is, I guess it's the question. What is a book that you started but never finished? Or start line is the tag. I don't DNF books very often, and when I do, I oftentimes even read the spark notes of it because I want to still get the bigger picture of what's going on in the story. But a book that I think I might have DNF'd a book after this, but this is the most recent one I can remember, is I Am the Messenger by Marcus Zuzak. I read his book, The Book Thief, and absolutely loved it. And I know this book came out before The Book Thief did, but I could not do it. And didn't like the topic. It kind of just didn't mean anything after reading that other book, because The Book Thief is about, Death is the narrator, and it's set in Nazi Germany, and it's just about these characters who are trying to survive, and this girl who's lost everything, lost her family and all of this, and the people that she ends up living with are harboring a Jewish individual, and it's just a beautiful story. It's heartbreaking. Many, many tears occur, but yeah. So I did not finish reading I Am the Messenger. Was unimpressed. And the third prompt is Sprint, a book I read really fast. I read a lot of books really fast, so I tried to pick a book that wasn't just really short either. So this is what I consider a medium-length book. It's 440 pages, so I read Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere very fast. It's also my favorite Neil Gaiman book, so I 10 out of 10 recommend it. It's awesome. There's also a really, really beautiful graphic novel version, if that's more your speed. So yes. The next prompt or question is my favorite long book, The Marathon. And I read a lot of long books, and I did debate about this a lot. And so I by reflex will probably say something like The Way of Kings is one of my favorite long books. The Name of the Wind, East of Eden is a long book. It's my favorite book of all time, but I was trying to go for something that wasn't sci-fi fantasy, just because I feel like that's a lot of what I've been talking about. But one of my favorite books that I've ever read, that is substantially long. It is 734 pages. Is The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand. There's a lot I can say about this book, and I honestly need to reread it. It's been a few years, so I can really have a fresh idea on it. But I do want a disclaimer. Ayn Rand's books, I love them. I have not been disappointed by a book. I do not read them because I agree with her. I just want to say that. She's a little nuts in some of her political beliefs, and um, I wouldn't say it's socialistic, but like beyond just like government control of objects. I think it's closer to communism than socialism. A lot of her beliefs that she like expresses and talks about in her books are not really like what I believe in. However, I do think I learned so much from reading this and from reading Atlas Shrugged, and it's just the way she describes things and just poses questions about like the world and the state of like where these people are living in and all that jazz is really important. I think it's a really great and like a quintessential read that everybody should read, both this and Atlas Shrugged, but this one was prettier, so The Fountainhead is the marathon book that I am proud of reading. Hurdles. What is a book that has ups and downs? This prompt, Ariel and Raylene said you could kind of just do this what you will. I'm gonna say Travels with Charlie in Search of America. I'm applying the hurdles as it was really good books, or it was a really good book, but there was potentially problematic elements in it. There was stuff that it wasn't super entertaining. It was kind of dry. Y'all probably know I like John Steinbeck by this point, and I did truly love this book. It was amazing, and I really just liked like the wandering spirit of it, and where he basically just gets in his car and drives with his dog all over America. I think it doesn't say where he starts, but he goes like around the country. At one point he's like in Yellowstone, at a different point he's in Texas, and then he's on both the coasts. I think he starts in New York and ends back in. I think it's a full loop, so he either starts in California or New York. I don't remember, but I do love this book, and this cover is really beautiful. But there was problematic things, obviously. I believe this was written in originally published 1962. So some things obviously don't hold up with issues that we're seeing today. John Steinbeck in his writing is not. He's a little more than a little bit racist in most of his books. There's also, we'll come to a part where you're at a Thanksgiving feast, and the word orgy is thrown around a lot, and I was really confused for about like 12 pages. It did not have the same definition it does now, which is kind of interesting to see. But overall, I think this book was really good, and you do really get to see a lot of America. There was parts that were dry. Again, hurdles. So, hurdles. Enough said. Gold medal. The best book I have read during a readathon. I just realized I skipped one, so we'll come back to Finish Line. I don't actually know where that book is. Anyways, so gold medal is best book I've read during a readathon. I have only done 3 readathons now. Self-care readathon, which is technically still ongoing. It's a 3-month. Becca's Bookoplathon, and now the Reading Rush, obviously. So the best book I've read, and I'm trying to I've read so many books that it's like, I'm picking the one that's like with the theme of the overall overarching book club, or sorry, I can't talk. Book readathon, the overarching theme of the readathon. So I'm going to go with the Self-Care's actual group book, which is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I was pleasantly surprised by this. I was in a reading slump. It was just fresh, and it was happy, and it was what I needed at the time, so I did really enjoy it. I don't think I gave it a full 5 stars, but I also was having trouble picking, so this is what we got stuck with, but I liked it a lot. It was great. Finish Line is a book I was proud to finish. Oh, I remember why I skipped over this. I don't have the physical book here, so that was the issue. I'm not yet done with this book, but I'm approaching completion, and I will be very proud when I finish this. It's on audiobook. I am also, when I have a chance to reading it with the physical book, but I am working through Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace. It is a 62-hour audiobook. I am using this readathon to like make some real progress on it. Reading rush, I should say. This reading rush to make real progress on it. I'm not counting it. I probably will see if I can figure out page amounts on this, but it's not one of the actual books I'm reading. I'm just trying to like really during the reading rush, like anytime I have free time, listen to it. So I am going to say I will be very proud when I finish that. If it has to be a book I've already read, good God, James Joyce's Ulysses, I was proud to have finished that. It took me many months. That's all. And last but not least, the participation question. An underrated book that I wish got more attention. I think I'm basically going to probably name drop the series at any and all opportunity I have for it. So this is my favorite series, one of my favorite series I've ever read in my entire life. I believe it is middle grade. It could probably actually exist in the teen section. It probably transcends because there's 10 books and it starts when he's, I think, early high school and ends when he's like many years have passed. There's 10 books. This is a well-loved book, as you can probably see, but Pendragon, the book 1 is Merchant of Death by D.J. MacHale. I have reread this series. I think I started reading the series when there's only 4 or 5 books out, and I reread it, the entire thing, every time a new book was going to come out. And then I read it in entirety, I believe, 4 times. Most recently, 5 months ago. Holds up as a real adult. It is, I would say it's definitely a fantasy series. It starts off in a normal setting, like in an urban setting, I should say. Like, I think they're in New York, and a lot of stuff happens. It's a wild ride. There's like wormhole space travel, different planets are involved. You're basically, each planetary area has 2 travelers, or I should say there's like 2 generations of travelers. So Bobby Pendragon is the traveler, the second generation of traveler from Earth, and they have to basically save each of these planets. I believe, I think there's 10 planets because there's 10 books, and each one takes place on a different planet. In each of these worlds, they have to prevent Saint Dane from leading it towards evil and darkness and destruction, because every time they're basically battling for the state of the entire universe, and it's Saint Dane's goal to make the universe basically die so that way he can rebuild it. Because as planets die, he gets more power, and power is taken away from the travelers. So it's just a never-ending battle. It's a really great time. I love it. Everybody should read it. Please. It is underrated. I don't hear anybody talking about it. The fandom on the internet's very small. They don't even I don't think they sell these books off the shelf in Barnes and Nobles anymore, which makes me very sad. So, do it. Just do it. Anyways, that was the Racing to Read book tag. It was a little scattered. Still am having a hard time with English today, and everything's shaking, but I'm going back to reading my book for the reading rush. Good God. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. Hugs from here. Hugs. That's all. Catch y'all next time.